Welcome to the Avenue. Kristen Balboni here with our very own thief, Tre Boston.
Trey,
I have been so excited to get your reaction to this 30-0 win over the Falcons. Give it to me.
All right, listen, I'm not going to lie. You're lucky it's Wednesday, because if you would have caught me on Monday or even yesterday on a Tuesday, I would have knocked everything off of the desk and let you know how electric and ecstatic I am that the Panthers got it done. Lately, I've been preaching to you guys belief, hope, identity, and we finally saw the recipe to it. I know we were getting a little weary, fans, but we got it, man. The guys showed up big time. When we said we needed the line of scrimmage taken care of, it was taken care of. Turnover battle won, it was won. Defense to stack it up in the secondary, they stacked them up. I mean, everything was on display this game. You can name it. Complimentary football was played. All three phases. This is the Carolina Panthers football that we know is in our DNA. Let's go.
Yes. Now, of course, you talked complimentary football, but we know where you want to start, which is that secondary.
Come on.
3 turnovers, just an aggressive strategy from this defense overall, which led to 3 turnovers by the secondary, 1 pick six.
Yes.
And 1, you could argue, from Mike Jackson that should have been
Mike Jack. Mike Jack. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. But listen, it was amazing to see, man. Listen, Shaw, Smith-Wade, coming after half, nice pick to the crib. Yeah. It just looked really easy for the defense. Watching them yesterday or on Sunday, you watch the flow. Man, I was in the game, up in the suite, and I'm watching them just get after the quarterback. It seemed easy. Guys were communicating. Mm-hmm. Guys were celebrating. The thieves looked like they were, thieving. Thievery never dies. It always lives, baby. So having them celebrate, have a good time, man. You hope that they can build off of this. And let's go to Mike Jack. Hey, Mike Jack, my boy, come on. Hey, listen, Mike Jack, you funny. I'm going to let you know, when Mike Jack got to running backwards, I say, okay, this guy is a character, man, but I love it, man. My boy said, hey, he didn't want to get back out there. He wanted to take a little bit of rest. I get you. Been there, done that. But it's amazing to see this job done well by this defense. And Trevor Marie, man, listen, I'm letting you know you were a ball player this game. When they washed out and we were looking at who was the best number 7 on the field, I'm letting it be known we had the best number 7 on the field.
Yes.
I'm talking play after play you made. Big hits on Penix, big hits on Robinson. I mean, this guy was all over the field getting the guys ready. Man, this defense looked good.
What changed, do you think, with that defense? Is it just coming into their own? Was there an adjustment in the scheme that you saw? What made them so dominant? I mean, because, look, nobody is pitching a shutout. That's the first Panthers shutout in 5 years, and it was the first NFL shutout of the season.
Yeah.
So how did they do it?
Yeah, I thought they started fast. Last week I told you, hey, if the Panthers can get rid of these early turnovers, Cardinals, 2 turnovers in the first 2 series. If they can get rid of those early turnovers, they'll find themselves in games as hard as we're playing. What do you see? We don't get those early turnovers. We start fast. Complimentary football. Hey, even when we had a punt that we dropped, the defense goes back out there, miss field goal. Yeah. Not even field goals or takeaways. Miss field goals. That's a momentum changer of the game. Now you go out there, you go put 3 up on their head after that. Then you end up going into half 10-0. Then you get the pick 6, another momentum switcher. I mean, everything was going the Panthers' way when it came to playing our style of football. That's how we play here. Great defense, run the ball on offense. This is what we're used to seeing, and the boys got it done to the T. The DNA is there, baby.
Mm-hmm. And you've been talking about complimentary football and praising them for that, and we know that the thieves can't steal anything if that front 7 is not doing their job. So talk to me about what you saw from the big boys up front.
Listen, big boys up front found a way to get after Penix, man. All day, he felt like he just couldn't step up in the pocket.
Oh.
When he got outside the pocket, he wasn't comfortable. This is a young guy. What you have to do with these young quarterbacks is get them off the spot. The spot is an X. They love to get into their 3-step, 5-step drops and just sit on that X and step up. all day long. It just was not happening. If they can keep this up, take care of the line of scrimmage, which is this DB play right here, right? Oh my God. Yes, sir. I told y'all DB had to take care of that line of scrimmage, man. These boys in the run game made sure Bijan was hit before the line of scrimmage. They made sure he was feeling them every time before he got going. Look right here. Before he gets to the line of scrimmage, hands are on him. That's how you play great defense. You can't allow great running backs to get ahead of steam and get going. And it felt like nobody on that offense for the Falcons could get into a flow and a rhythm. Why? Because the Panthers were out there smacking and clapping them pads. Let's go.
It was incredible. I can only imagine what it was like for you in the suite up there.
I was lit. Hey, me and Ron Killings, R-Truth, man, we were going crazy. We were going crazy.
Nice.
I'm letting y'all know, man. I'm up there with the fans. I'm out the press box. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, man. Listen, when Panther ball's being played like that, man, this crowd was electric. I heard a few people talk about 2015, and it's always good when you hear the fans talking like that. When they have sweet memories and they can hear that stadium rocking like that, that's what the Bank of America Stadium feels like when Panthers are winning.
I tell you what, I was down on the sidelines and I had to, so when you do sideline, you have to wear earpieces, much like we're wearing now. I had to turn up my volume on my earpieces. I know you like yours low. 2 or 3 times to hear over the fans, which is always a great sign. That's what you want. You want to have that thing cranked up so loud because it is so loud in the stadium. So shout out to all of you fans because, look, that stadium was blue and it was loud.
It was blue and loud,
and I know how much it means to you guys to have that presence on third down when you're out on the field as a defense.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a big, you could hear it.
You not only hear it, you can feel it. I mean, when that stadium gets to rocking and you can feel the grass kind of moving a little bit with you, like you're talking to the guy next to you, you can't hear them. You got to pull out the signals, but you know the offense is struggling. Again, I told you, they're not in a flow. They're looking at each other. They're hoping that somebody can get them out of this funk. Is it you? Is it you? Because it's not me. Yeah, that's where we want these teams at. When the defense is playing well, the stadium is rocking. Nobody can hear themselves. That's what this is about.
All right, we got to move over to special teams because I know that we want to give kicker Ryan Fitzgerald, rookie kicker Ryan Fitzgerald, his flowers. So, Trey, first of all, he hit that 57-yard field goal. What a leg on this guy. And I know when they brought him out, they said, look, this is a career long for him. And I said, he's got it. He's got it. He's that guy. And then on top of that, what he was doing in the kick return game was just magic. There was a little something on that ball that boy you got don't see special. Very often. Yes. So, Trey, what did you see from him?
He got this little knuckleball. Hey, watch this. When it hits the ground, it just it dies. It literally hits you with like a doink. And listen, it was vital. These guys, they couldn't do anything with it. You heard Coach Canales after in the post games talk about how crucial it was. And look at it. It's a little knuckleball that just spins crazy that guys don't know what to do with it. And that's a weapon. We talk about revolution and revolutionizing the new kickoff rule. Well, look, we can use it to a benefit. Not only can we keep guys safe, we can actually use this to pin guys in the red zone, inside the 20. Look at this, another one. Next thing you know, you're pinning a team inside the 15, inside the 10.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be something that we can use for the season. Now you talk about your defense coming out having momentum. Well, now you got somebody backed up inside the 15, the 10. It's hard to get out. Statistics tell you 93% of the times when you're inside the 10, you're not going to score points rather than a touchdown. So now we're talking about the hidden yardage inside of a game. Fitzgerald, boy, I see you. Hey, we need more of that.
Yes.
We need it.
Yes, absolutely. And as many kickoff returns as possible, because that means
we're scoring points.
That's right. Now we have, Trey, you were talking about some of the numbers. It is a weapon for the Panthers through 3 games. We got some really cool stats on this about just where he is able to place the ball. So you look at yards per kick return, 16. That's second. They rank second in the NFL. And then look at this. Your field position on average is 25 yards after a kickoff. And then your field position after a punt, they're at the 19-yard line.
That's really good.
That's top 5, top 2 in 2 categories, top 5 in 3 of those. And you were mentioning about Dave Canales, what he said about the way in which they were doing it. He said it's a really aggressive approach. He said, so what they're doing, special teams coordinator Tracy Smith is finding the alignments of the return units. Like, where are they going to be standing? Where do they normally try to catch their ball? And then he said what they're doing is they're letting Ryan Fitzgerald go out there with these, what they call the aggressive approach, the way that he's kicking the ball, and what they call the flight patterns.
Yeah.
So he said, man, special teams, he said, we're trying something. And you know just as well as anybody, it could not work out. But it is working out when you look at these numbers. So what a cool addition to, like you said, that complementary football.
Absolutely. Again, we're trying to find new ways to win football games. If there's something new when it comes to rules, you're going to find yourself trying new things. And, hey, we found ourselves with something pretty special.
All right, now we've got something that, Trey, you wanted to do, wins only.
Wins only. Hey, you got to earn this. Our fans know we earn everything. Keep pounding.
So you have got something that we are calling Trey's Chain Gang, and you are going to bestow a chain on the player that you think deserves it most from this game. So I'm going to let you do the honors on this one.
All right. So listen, the people want it. They say, Trey, we need a chain gang. They see the ice. We need somebody to be the best player. Who is the player of the week? And for me, I thought the momentum switcher of this game, somebody who played well and changed the dynamic of it. After that, halftime, Shaw Smith-Wade. Boy, I thought you played a game. To come down with that pick, hey, listen, I know it's only 11 yards, but hey, as a DB, you got to catch it. Boy, you caught it, jigged into the touchdown. Not only you had that, you had 5 tackles. Hey, some people say nickel. Man, we play a base, only 9% of the times. Listen, 91% of the time we're in a nickel package. So for him to go out there, ball as a young boy, get the job done. Hey, I love the way we celebrate. I'm gonna let you know that. That's what I'm most impressed about my young boy. He got all the handshakes. Look. He dapping up with everybody.
He has a different handshake for every single. How do you remember that?
Y'all don't understand how momentum gets throughout the team, the juice, the love. Like, that's how you build a culture when people love each other. Look how the boys congratulated him. So he is in the chain game. We got you, my boy. Great game this week.
I love it, Trey. And like you said, his energy, you'd be so proud. I was standing right there for the pick six. Nobody. It's like that energy that you have. He was smiling ear to ear. He was celebrating. You could just tell that this man was living it up as he should be. And like you said, that just transfers over to the rest of the sidelines. And like you said, it puts them up 17-0. It felt like, okay, 17-0. That's a big deficit to come back from if you're Atlanta. And obviously they could not do it. But as it is Wednesday, we talk about turning the page every single week. So the last 2 times we've said, okay, how do we turn the page and take the positives and leave the negatives? But this week, as we know, you've got to put this game behind you and focus on what's ahead with New England.
Absolutely. Well, listen, if we're going to turn the page, what we did, hey, we talked about finishing where we're going to go last week, and we did exactly that. Now, this is about consistency. We just put on tape who we are. When we talk about the word potential, it's because it's something that you haven't quite done yet. What we saw with the Carolina Panthers looked like this last game. 30-0 on defense, taking the ball away. On offense, taking care of the ball. I want to see, can we put that product on film again and again? So this week versus New England, can the guys go out there, play a physical brand of football, put it on tape to where every team who sees you understands this is what fight we're going to be in every game for 4 quarters. When you turn the page, you also want to see the guys not only turn the page, but have fun with it. Have fun with what you guys just did and know that that's who you guys are. But let's lock in and know if we can lock in during the week, the weekends will be fun for us when we're winning ball games. I want to see, can Carolina football be on display this weekend? I think so as we turn this page.
And we're about to turn the page in the show too, Trey. I know that you are excited about our guest, your former teammate, Panthers legend and current ESPN analyst, Fozzy Whittaker is with us right now. Fozzy, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. Of course, we just talked about the game and what a huge win it was, 30-0. But I got to get your perspective on what you saw from this Panthers dominating win over Atlanta.
Yeah, ultimately, I appreciate the fact that this was a true team victory. And what does team victory actually mean? And Tre Boston and I were both in the locker room where we shared a lot of these team victory type of moments where all three phases contribute to the win and in a significant way, right? You start off, get the ball back off of a missed field goal opportunity, and then Bryce Young takes it down and you all score offensively a very first drive to kick off the game. That gives you that confidence that, hey, what happened last week against Arizona, right? We didn't like the end result, but the team that we were in the fourth quarter, let's utilize that momentum and then keep driving and pushing forward. And then they started fast against Atlanta, and I thought that was the way to set the tone. And then from there, Atlanta couldn't find a rhythm. They obviously punted several times, went for it 3 different times on fourth down, didn't get any 3, which counts as turnovers in our category. And then you look at the actual number of turnovers that were forced with the 2 interceptions. One was a pick 6, setting up good field position, the offense being able to capitalize off of that field position, and then the 3 field goals kicked by Fitzgerald. That's just a culmination and sums up how good of a team victory it was, and then not giving up that points and keeping the goose egg. We all know how important that is in the NFL and how hard it is to come away with a shutout. But that shows that complete type of team identity that they were able to carry into, considering the momentum that they needed to gain, and the first time being in the vault, Bank of America Stadium, to kick the season off at home.
Man, Fozzy, hey, it's always good playing together, but hey, living life on the outside, both of us doing our thing, man. Hey, listen, Fozzy, talking about complimentary football, how does this team continue to stay playing that type of football when they know, hey, this might just be our identity?
Yeah, well, it starts with the line of scrimmage, right? And I heard you talking with KB on that a little bit earlier in the show, but you got to be able to control the line of scrimmage offensively and defensively. And you look at it from the offensive perspective, being able to run the ball more efficiently. That's what I want to challenge this team, is to continue to find that identity offensively. And I think we started to see a little bit more of that. Obviously, we know Chuba Hubbard is the bell cow. Got to cover him in his college days at Oklahoma State, where he was a workhorse, right? He could get 30 carries a game and still go produce and be as productive on carry number 5 as he was on carry number 30. And that high volume type of approach is something that he really excels at. But then you add in Rico Dowdle, who had the most carries he's had up until this point throughout the course of the season. Also scored his first touchdown running the ball as well, and had 10 carries this past week. I think that is a nice compliment to what they want to be and how they want to approach moving forward. And then obviously adding in and sprinkling in a little bit of Trevor Etienne, the Georgia product, who I had the blessing of covering last year while he was at Georgia, and seeing his effectiveness, not just in the special teams realm, but coming in on some third down opportunities and change of pace type of mix up. I can see the offense playing that pivotal part of being able to spark kind of the momentum for the offense to maintain the line of scrimmage, and then obviously open up the passing game with the play action pass, and then defense obviously playing as stout and aggressive as they are. I think those are the key benefits that'll help keep this Carolina Panther team relevant within the league conversation, as well as playing some really good football.
Fozzy, you mentioned Rico Dowdle. I'm so glad that we have a chance to ask you about him. So, like you said, 10 carries. He only had 30 yards. I felt like in that game, it felt like more. And then I looked at the stats and I was like, oh, it was only 30 because he had that touchdown, because he had some big first down runs. When you think about the way in which those running backs can be used, what is your ideal look? Is it Chuba getting most of the work and then Rico coming in on those short yardage situations and touchdowns? Or is it, seeing even more from him? What would you like to see in terms of, the way in which they can both be used?
I would love to see a little bit more balance from the standpoint of them spelling each other throughout the course of a drive. And we're kind of in the new age era, and I wouldn't even call it new anymore, but in the era of football where you got to have multiple running backs carry the load and be efficient to keep everybody as healthy as possible, number one, with the 17-game season. But then also throughout the course of the game, you want your horses running at full speed as often and as much as possible. And I think I know volume carry for Chuba Hubbard is what he's been used to But I think the less that you put on his plate earlier in the game, the more you can spread up the distribution of how the offense runs and how effectively it's able to run with the insertion of a little bit more of Rico Dowdle. And I'd love to see that in the first half and continue that trend throughout the second half. And then obviously we're only in the first quarter of the season with the first 3 games already underneath our belt, getting ready to move on to game number 4. But I think that just bodes well for an opportunity for those running backs to continue to stay healthy. And then I expect Trevor Etienne to continue to add on over the course of the season as well.
Ozzy, I want to ask you quickly about the offensive line. So we saw 2 big contributors, too big, no pun intended, go out for quite a while this season in Robert Hunt and Austin Corbett. And I asked Dave Canales earlier this week, I said, how do you think Cade Mays and Chandler Zavala did? And he said, I think they did fine. Yeah. You know, they'd want to have some plays back, but they did a good job. When you're a veteran like a Chuba Hubbard or a Rico Dowdle and you get 2 new guys inside, does it take any adjusting, or are you just running behind them no matter what?
There is a little bit of an adjustment, but maybe not as stark of a contrast as you would think. And that's attributed to what Dave Canales has been able to do with the O-line coaches, as well as the rest of the coaching staff, of being able to have the next man up, right? And that's kind of the cliche term in the category that we throw around in football. But truly, that's what's been implemented for Carolina and the DNA that they've been able to create. And at the offensive line position, it's no different. And you see the guys step into a role where it's more of adjustment for them than it is even for the running back, just because they got to get new faces next to them that they may not have practiced with through all of training camp or through all of OTAs. And they got to get that familiar, hey, if we go in zone right, you know, you like to take, you know, a 6-inch step versus maybe a 4-inch step. And the way that synchronicity has to happen play after play, you start to get more comfortable with the more reps that you get. And then from a running back perspective, hey, there's some guys that are faster to get to their zone. It's faster to get to their pulling block angles if they're running some sort of gap scheme or pin pull scheme to get outside on the edge. But it just takes a little bit of adjustment, and the number of reps will help dictate how fast that adjustment or how long that adjustment takes. But it's not a big issue from the standpoint of the running back trying to get comfortable with the lineman. It's more so the lineman having to get comfortable with themselves, since that's the most complicated position to play, in my opinion, in football, because of you got to work on a string, and it's 5 different individuals that have to work on that same string. You get one guy off just by a little bit, and that creates enough of separation for the defensive lineman to take advantage of. So it's more so that chemistry with the O-line that they have to continue to grow. The running backs, we kind of more so just read and react and then make plays off of what's available in front of us.
Listen, Fozzy, man, to get inside the mind of Fozzy Whittaker, you hear the knowledge is unsurmountable. Hey, listen, Fozzy, I got to let the people know before you go how close this 2015 team was. Actually, in Austin, when I was there with Fast Home Rescue, my renovation show, I had Fozzy in on one of my episodes, and we also were able to go by his burn boot camp, Cedar Park. Hey, listen, great time. We're always around each other, man. So it's good to see your face. Tell the wife, Jazz, and the kids we said hello. Hey, love you, boss, man.
All love over here. I appreciate you all having me on. Looking forward to seeing more success by this Panthers team. First win on the board. Let's keep that momentum rolling, and always good to see you, my brother.
All right, it is time now for our tweets. So Trey always puts the call out on his Twitter account, and you guys always respond. So we got some great ones here today, Trey. The first one that we have is from Real Slick Nick, not the fake.
Okay.
Not
the fake.
You know? He wants to know who or what impressed you the most about the win on Sunday. There's a lot to pick from.
Okay. Let's go with what? Again, playing complimentary ball was something that impressed me. To be able to put up a defensive performance like that, but the offense to be able to go down, put up points. I think, you know, them on top of special teams, that was very impressive to watch. Again, 30-0. I think we were all pretty impressed. But I also thought Trayvon Merrick was amazing on the defense. I think he's one of those unsung heroes because he didn't have an interception, but the way that he was laying down hits on quarterbacks, running backs, I mean, you felt his presence all over the field.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought he was somebody who you looked at and could be impressed in his play.
Yeah, and that's what Ejiro Evero, defensive coordinator, said he wanted to do. He said they really want him featured and they want him as that Swiss Army knife type of player and then have everyone kind of support around him, and that is what we saw. So safety to safety, big compliment from you to Trayvon Merrick. All right, next tweet from Mr. Quacks.
Okay.
Wants to know, how many wins do you think the team needs to have in order for people to consider them a threat in the league?
So I want to say this. I don't know how many wins it will take for people to take us as a threat, but what I want to say is don't be. It's not a bad thing to be underdogs. I'm gonna let you know that. Like, we're gonna take this season, and we don't want people to think of much of us. We want them to feel us, though. When we go into this game, I'll even say 2015. It took us into after that Dallas Cowboys game. I think that was then 12-0 for people to finally say, "Oh, these guys are playing good ball." So this team right here, I want them just to continue to play good ball, not worried about how many wins it takes. No, you make the reps count, make the games count. After those 2-3 teams that you face start going down and falling like flies and taking L's, you'll start to put teams on notice that they need to put on their big boy pants when they play y'all. Hey.
And that is so amazing what you said, thinking back to 2015, because of course we as fans all saw it, but you're right. There was that thing of like, are the Panthers for real? Or is it the teams they're playing? And then, like you said, that Color Rush game.
Come on.
Nobody could deny it at a certain point, and it's such a good point about what you have in the locker room.
Yes.
And as long as, like you said, you're making sure that teams fear you every time they come into the bank or every time they match and say, oh, we don't want to go up against this team, then maybe what everybody on the outside says doesn't matter as much. All right, there's your answer, Mr. Quacks. All right, next tweet. This one is from I Am Aaron Chase Jr. Wants to know, what's the best ways in your career that you and your teammates were able to continue the momentum and keep things steadily improving?
Okay, I think all teams have to always hold themselves accountable, whether it's win or loss. There's always something that we can do better. So when you can hold yourself accountable, be honest to each other, and really sit in that and say, hey, we can all get 1% better today. I think that's how you find yourself building momentum. But I want to take it off the field. When we were building the most momentum on the teams I've been on, it's when you're off the field, Thursday night football, the guys are getting together. We're just building that camaraderie and just that love for each other. It's nothing like going to hang out with your coworkers and then you have to go into your next work day and just have a day of just filled with memories from last night, but also being able to lock in on the day and have fun and build this love and joy for each other. And that's what it's like building a group and keeping this momentum. It's not only about the X's and O's. It's can these guys build that chemistry off the field that allows them to love one each other and know that, hey, inside that locker room, all you got is all you need. Let's go.
And, I imagine that is really where your veterans come in here.
Absolutely.
Your Chubas, your Derek Browns, your Bryces, your Andy Daltons, right?
Yeah.
Just making sure that you get these guys together in your position groups or however you do it and really lock in and make sure that you're building those lasting relationships like you and Fozzy, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter how long it's been, and you can, have each other on your TV shows and things like that. That's what these guys are working toward building. All right, last question from Deke on a Leash, so shout out to Wake Forest. If you had to sum up the Panthers' identity after this week in 3 words, what would it be? I feel like you like this, though, right? Like, this is a good little challenge.
Oh, I like a challenge. Just 3. Okay. Carolina football. Yeah, that's 2. So I throw in the Panthers. Carolina Panthers football, baby. Let's go. Hey, listen, I thought Carolina's Panthers football was on display this week. If we're going to talk about identity, we talk about, again, running the football, taking care of the ball on offense, on defense, making sure we're getting after the ball, making quarterbacks uncomfortable, making teams feel like, hey, what are we doing out here? We had the fans, I'm talking upset from the Falcons because they couldn't find that flow. So from us, that's what Carolina Panthers football is about, being tough, gritty, getting in people's faces and making sure they know it's going to be a long 60 minutes out here playing with these boys.
I love it. I love it. Listen, thank you so much to everyone for watching The Avenue. Remember, you can always send your questions to Trey. You can leave them in the YouTube comments. We check those as well. We appreciate all of you watching. Trey, you want to send us out?
Hey, listen, man. This week, we're in New England. You know what time it is. We all believe now.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get rowdy. I better hear some yelling at the TV. And that's that we're going to keep pounding. See y'all next week. Come on, baby.